Hey, have you ever woken up in the morning and immediately vomited even though there was nothing in your stomach to throw up, and then your throat burns for several days afterwards? This has nothing to do with the rest of the video. I was just making small talk.
Welcome back to the show. You know, we tend to talk about lady stuff a lot on this show, mainly because I am a woman.
Oh, so just because you're a woman, you have to talk about certain things? Pretty sexist, Samantha.
And other late night shows already cover beer pong or whatever. I don't know. I can't watch them. Their voices are so deep.
No better way to start off your segment about how we need to take men's issues more seriously than by reducing men's issues to beer pong.
But there is one issue that affects men I do want to discuss tonight.
It's the one. Let's not go crazy here.
Male sexual abuse. When we talk about men and sexual assault, it's usually about whether some slimeball was falsely accused or not.
You gotta love that loaded language there. You don't know if the accusation was false or not, yet you're already calling him a slimeball.
But false accusations are as rare as a fun bachelorette party.
I mean, it seems like everyone else is having a great time. It's just you who isn't. I'd say that's a pretty good success rate. Most people are finding the bachelorette party enjoyable, which means fun bachelorette parties are really common, which would mean false rape accusations are really common. Well, hey, your words, not mine.
The truth is, about 1 out of 33 men in the U.S. have been victims of attempted or completed rape, meaning men are vastly more likely to be sexually assaulted than to be falsely accused of rape.
Yes, and someone is vastly more likely to be the victim of larceny than they are to be the victim of rape. But both are bad. Both should be stopped when possible. I don't care whether one crime is more prevalent than the other. It's not a competition. You can make a statement about male sexual abuse without dismissing the possibility of people being falsely accused.
Sexual assault of men is a real problem.
I agree. I'm glad someone's taking the time to tackle it.
And not a joke, despite the way we tend to talk about it.
The guy who was really sweating it out these days is Michael Cohen. He's the one who famously said, "I'd take a bullet for Donald Trump." Well, now that he's looking at prison time, we'll see if he's willing to take a dick.
Oh. We're talking about jokes. So we're not going to tackle the bad thing. We're going to tackle jokes about the bad thing.
Bill Cosby dropping the SOAP. This is what we're going to do to make this all fun. What should Bill Cosby's prison bitch name be?
Really? Bill Cosby? Do we really have to respect Bill Cosby, the rapist?
But you know, Jared is an interesting dude.
How?
Well, you know, he likes surprise sex in the morning.
Yeah.
So he's gonna love prison.
Rape is funny when it happens in jail to people we don't like.
Well, I mean, in the case of Bill Cosby, it's a bit more than just, we don't like him.
Why make a rape joke about Jared Kushner when you could make a joke about how waxy he is? He looks like the star of CBS's new sitcom, Wax Sheldon.
Body shaming is funny when it happens to people we don't like.
And it's not just comedians. We all act like abuse is a big joke when it happens to men. Hell, even the police do it.
State police are apologizing for a Super Bowl themed tweet about drunk driving. Some are saying it went too far. The tweet said, "Enjoy watching Rob Gronkowski play, but if you drink and drive, your tight end may end up in jail." It included an image of drop soap, which some say suggests prison rape.
Okay, that's fair enough. Comedians are one thing, but someone like the police should really be a bit more professional than that. Also, prison rape really shouldn't be the deterrent for drunk driving. The actual legal punishment for drunk driving should be the deterrent. That's why it's the punishment. If you're using prison rape as the reason you shouldn't drink and drive, that means one of two things. Either prison rape is a big problem in your prisons, in which case, Jesus Christ, you should be trying to stop the prison rape, or prison rape isn't a big problem in your prisons, in which case it's an empty threat, and therefore you don't have to worry about drinking and driving. So yeah, Samantha, you're right on that one. I'll give it to you. Ah shit, the tally marks are still there from the Brittany Venti video. I've been there for like 3 months. They're gonna be a bitch to wipe off.
As far as I can see, this kind of thing is everywhere.
James Comey's memos, he basically says that he and the president had a good laugh over the notion of reporters being raped in prison.
Man could love another man without having to drop the soap.
As soon as you drop the soap, they rape your butt. That's what happened.
Okay, I don't even care about the other jokes, because they're jokes. But this joke specifically is about someone saying he doesn't want to get raped. He is portraying it as a bad thing that is to be avoided.
Check out the new meat. I'm gonna slather you up in Navi jelly.
Okay, this guy is a bad guy. He is a bad person who wants to do bad things because he is bad.
Look, doubloons! Don't drop them.
How could you, SpongeBob? Don't you know innocent college stoners are watching? People have a tendency to dismiss male sexual abuse as asking for it, even when it happens to children, including people on a network that really should have put its staff through sensitivity training by now.
Serious crime, but if you're a 16-year-old kid and you have sex with your best friend's mom, you usually get high fives. The kid is 16.
She's saying
he pursued her, and they're calling it a rape. I'll tell you, she was wrong to this extent. He went and tattled to the police.
Tattling? Oh, that's so immature. It's something a child would... Oh, no, that tracks.
Hey, we're back to talking about the actual bad thing instead of just jokes about it. Cool.
You know what? I need to do better on this, too.
Oh my god, an admission to past mistakes.
We talk about Me Too like it's only a women's movement, but many of the predators in the Me Too era preyed on men.
Oh my god, that's what I've been saying the whole time.
Hashtag men too.
Ah, here it is. The reason why I made this video. Because I find this really interesting. Let's backtrack a bit. Remember when hashtag not all men was a thing for a good half a second? And remember how much people hated it? And it was immediately followed up with hashtag yes all women? Which is its own brand of bad argument, since literally all it takes to disprove that is one woman saying otherwise. Hey, have you ever been harassed?
Yes.
Have you ever been harassed?
Yes.
Have you ever been harassed?
No.
There we go. Hashtag not all women. But I digress. I mean, I was already digressing. I was just digressing from that digression. But I digress. Damn it. I think part of the reason why people responded so poorly to hashtag not all men is because, and hear me out here, it wasn't extreme enough. You see, when you say not all men, it makes it sound like that's the best you can do. Someone says men are bad, and the only thing you can say to counter it is not all of them. It makes it sound like you're saying that for the most part they're right, men are bad, but it's not 100% of them, just like 90%. And that's roughly how people responded to that, by saying things like, just because some men don't do bad things doesn't change the fact that men do bad things. What you should have said, instead of not all men are bad, is that most men aren't bad. The vast majority of men are decent people, because the vast majority of people are decent people. Only a small sliver of men do the things that you're attributing to men as a whole. That's a much stronger argument. Now that probably wouldn't have stopped the people who were saying men are bad from saying it, but at least it wouldn't have been so easy to make fun of. Anyway, the reason why I went on that whole tangent is because I feel like this is a similar case. Imagine, if you will, the typical reaction you'd expect to see if you saw hashtag men too become a thing. What do you think the response would be? Now, I'm just speculating here, but I imagine that people probably wouldn't respond very well to it.
Typical. Every time women try to speak out, men have to come along and make it about them. Oh, boo-hoo. You think you have it so tough because you're a man. Hashtag male tears. I am so sick of hearing, what about men? If you care about men so much, make your own movement. And then you do make your own movement. And then they get mad at you for making your own movement. And then they accuse you of being a Nazi. It's almost like you can't win. So what you gotta do is you gotta say something that's not as easy to spin. Men too makes it sound like you're just tacking it on as an extra little side thing, when these two topics shouldn't even be separate things in the first place. You gotta say something like, hashtag abuse isn't gendered. Look at how progressive that is. It's got the word gendered in it. Woke people love that word. That's what you gotta do. You gotta make that premise a bit more appealing if you don't want people to just dismiss it. Or at least that's what I would be saying, if it weren't for the fact that Samantha B is doing this. You see, Samantha B is someone who's looked upon fondly by people who would consider themselves progressives. She has a bit of leeway with that crowd. She can get away with things that other people couldn't. So she can say something like, men too, without getting accused of being a crybaby misogynist who doesn't understand who the real victims are. The fact that she's a woman probably doesn't hurt. So she doesn't have to jump through all these hoops to make sure that people on the woke side of the street take her seriously. She can change people's minds when we never could. Well, you know what? If this is what it takes, then so be it. If it takes Samantha Bee and her dumb hashtag to get people to stop saying that men are never the victims of sexual assault, then so be it. I'm on board. Hashtag men too.
When Captain America throws his mighty hand.
There are tons of other slime balls out there, and when we laugh at their victims, we make it easier for them to keep Kevin Spaceying all over the place.
Whose victims have been laughed at? Most of the examples you've shown have been of jokes about people who haven't actually been raped. They haven't been the victims of anything. One was about Bill Cosby, the rapist. That's laughing at the perpetrator, not the victim. And all the other jokes were about fictional characters trying not to get raped. None of what you showed was an example of a real-life person actually being raped, then people laughing at that person. The only real-life example you had was of the 16-year-old kid. And there the guy wasn't joking about him or laughing at him, he was expressing his actual opinion on the matter. It wasn't an attempt at comedy. And do telling these sorts of jokes really help the perpetrators get away with it? Once people found out about what Kevin Spacey was up to, that was game over for him. The jokes were in response to him being found out. They didn't aid him in getting away with it, and they were pretty much entirely at his expense.
So, to all of the Jesse Waterses out there who don't see anything wrong with a hilarious rape joke, please enjoy this message from the actually hilarious Terry Crews.
Hi, I'm Terry Crews.
Oh, Terry. Oh no, Terry. Don't tell me she roped you into this. Look, what happened to Terry Crews was bad. It was horrible. He didn't deserve it. I feel bad for him. But he's backing the wrong horse here. So Terry, forgive me for what I'm about to yabba dabba do. Jesus, why do I have a gun? This is a YouTube video, not a cartel standoff.
You know me because I'm Terry fucking Crews.
Yeah, I remember you from White Chicks.
You need to loosen up. There you go. That's for you.
Oh my God, is that Britney Spears?
Where?
Right over there. Ah, forget it, she just left.
Oops, she did it again. Oh, man. Woo.
Let's drink up.
Oh, let's do it. To the last drop.
And you can't make the argument that it's okay when it happens to that guy because he was trying to roofie someone else. Because you got upset at the Bill Cosby joke earlier.
Maybe this happened to you. You're a funny guy and you're telling a joke that's real edgy.
Wow, you managed to sum up in one word exactly the point behind jokes like this.
So there's this guy in a jail shower, right?
Maybe it's about prison rape. Maybe it's about boys getting molested. Either way.
Look at this guy. Look at this corkscrew motion that he's doing. I don't know if he was directed to do that or if they just had him improvise, but like, someone involved with this thought to themselves, okay, how should we represent rape? And they went with this. They went with this cartoonish, comedic gesture for it. There's no dialogue in this part. It's not like this is aiding what he's saying as an example of a joke someone might tell. They could have just had him do generic conversational hand gestures. But no, they inserted an unnecessary rape joke into a skit about how you should never make rape jokes.
It's not getting the laugh you want.
And then he says, it's not my soap.
I'm here to tell you how to solve that problem. Stop telling those fucking jokes.
They're not funny. They've never been funny.
Apparently they were funny back in 2004.
You're a hack and everybody knows it.
It's amazing how quickly we went from everybody is okay with jokes about raping men to everybody knows you're a hack if you joke about raping men.
But here's the good news. Lots of things are funny that aren't rape.
For example, spit takes. I'm pregnant.
I'm pregnant.
Why is it that whenever people try to police humor, they end up being incredibly unfunny? Like, Terry Crews is normally a funny guy.
Oops, she did it again.
Oh, Terry, you are a delight. But when he's in this, poof, the comedy vanishes.
You could also joke about off-brand merchandise.
Ugh, I hate moon days.
Tell that to my milk darts.
Those two statements don't even relate to each other. What do your milk dards have to do with moon days? Well, that's gotta be the first time that sentence had ever been said.
Something not funny? Acting like high schoolers who get assaulted by teachers are lucky. Something that is funny? 2 kids stacked in a trench coat to get into an inappropriate movie.
1 ticket to Swim Fan, please. Hurry.
And what is funnier than a pie to the face?
Yep.
That's full of bees.
What? Oh my God.
Those stings are hilarious.
Why?
It's a little ironic that they have the rape joke guy talk in this kind of awkward, forced way.
It's not
to try and show how not funny he is. But the way they're talking is even more awkward and more forced, so they end up sounding less funny than the person they're trying to prove isn't funny.
And of course, the funniest thing of all time.
Hey, I got one. What did the priest say to the altar boy?
God, what the fuck?
Who the fuck let you in here, Chad?
Chad! I should have known it was him behind this all along.
We sure had fun today, Sam B.
You're right, Terry Crews. The most important thing to remember is...
You don't need to do jokes about assault to be funny.
That is a joke about assault. Oh my God.
Please, like your name, get it?
This has been a message from Terry Crews and Samantha B.
So yeah, this video would have been harmless enough. It would have even been welcome, but they blew it by pinning the blame on jokes. It's a fair point to make that jokes about men being raped are more accepted than jokes about women being raped. Hell, jokes about boys being raped are more accepted than jokes about women being raped. But I don't think the answer is to outright ban these jokes. Jokes are not the problem. Well, that's all I've got for today. I'm gonna go back to doing guy stuff. You know, like beer pong and getting raped.
Everybody